this recording on. So the point of today's session is just to go over some few logistics for the ftmo bootcamp that we're going to be starting next week. Now, as I've mentioned, if you haven't seen it in the chat already, I have a meeting with the top guy at ftmo to try and negotiate a deal for you guys. The position that I'm at the moment is that they want to offer me an 8% referral fee for every member that joins, and quite frankly, I just don't want it. I want you guys to get the 8% discount, and I've expressed that to them. But I've also said that there are a number of members coming forward, and I think that it's only fair in terms of business for them, is that they give us a bigger discount. So at first he was reluctant, and then I was quite abruptly hung up the phone and just said, okay, no problem. Take care for now. And I got an email back from him about an hour later to say, would I like a Skype call with him on Monday or Wednesday? And I said to him, no, let's do it Monday. Because I've expressed to him on 2 occasions how important it is to get a decision from him before Monday, as we want to get this started. So I think Monday he has fit us into his calendar. To be honest with you, 8% is very good, but they don't want to give it to you. They want to give it to me. And I don't want to have the hassle of then having to it's a load of, you guys don't even understand. It's a whole heap of madness on my side then to get that money to you. So I prefer them to give you a discount code for you guys to do it online yourself, right? Now, that meeting is going to happen on Monday. The challenge is supposed to start on Monday. For those that have purchased the challenge and want to start on Monday, feel free to go ahead with it. You know, it's really entirely up to you. However, the meeting is at 1 p.m. London time, GMT. So by New York Open, I'll have the meeting, and an hour later, I should have a decision from him. And then, you know, Monday being Monday, for those that want to start with a discount, fingers crossed we get the discount. We can crack on Monday evening. But I guess the best plan moving forward would be to wait till Tuesday. Anywho, what I'm going to need from you guys that are taking the challenge, I'm going to do it on the weekend when you guys have more time and the chats ain't so busy, is to find out who has paid for the challenge already but joining the bootcamp, and who is planning to buy the challenge and will be joining the bootcamp. I need exact figures, and I need pure honesty from you guys. If you know deep down that you are going to take the challenge, please let me know. For those that are not too sure, then just avoid ticking any boxes, because I need to go to him with numbers. And if I go to him with numbers, then I have more leverage, do you understand? And it's just going to benefit you guys. So anyway, the point of today's session is just to really go over a few things with you, and just to answer your questions as well. You guys, please come forward. Don't be shy. It's very important you get your questions across to us so that we can clear anything up. And when I refer to us, I'm talking about the mentors, okay? So this will include myself, Ida the Mobster. I'm not sure if Matthew is here. AB, there is a Matthew here. I'm not sure if that's our Matthew, mentor Matthew. But anyway, Matthew, Paulina, Stubbsy. Agus is busy with other things at the moment. So we're going to leave him out for now. And then Chantel, okay? Now, we've put together something for you guys. I don't know if you have had a chance to look on my, hopefully you don't see this pop up. Yep. I don't know if you've had a chance to look on my stories, but I put a little something up there just as a little sneak peek. And here it is. Okay, hold on. New share. Hold on. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can, because I can see it also. All right. So I just want to say a big thanks to all the mentors for just coming together to really put this together. We had 2 mastermind meetings, consisting of about an hour and 15 minutes per session, where we just really talked about some of the strategies, some of the approaches you guys can use, and what we believe to be the best plan moving forward for you guys. This will be made available to you after the session, so you guys can go ahead and read it. Everything should be there for you. To be honest with you, I don't think there's anything that's going to be missing, but if there is, you're going to have the rest of this week and the weekend to get to us, to ask us any questions or queries that you may have. Okay. We want this to be as smooth as possible. We know that obviously during the period of the challenge, there's going to be ups and downs, and hopefully we can get you off with a good start, so that you guys can maximize your opportunities or potentials of passing this challenge. Okay, so we're going to have Stubbsy and the mentors come forward to answer any questions. First and foremost, I'm going to be looking at the PDF. I don't want you guys to see it, so that I just have a basis for this actual session here right now. So you should only be seeing my, yes, you can only see my euro pound. Okay. So first things first, do we have Matthew here? We don't, which is a shame. Okay, fine. D-Mobster, are you comfortable with the brokers?
Yeah, I think actually Paulina actually nailed that for us, didn't she?
Yeah,
She's
she did.
trying
Yeah.
LMAX and found that to be pretty good.
Okay, Paulina.
Yep.
Okay, fine. So, guys, you probably realize that IC markets have been taken off the list of brokers for the FTMO challenge, which is a bit of a shame because the spreads on IC markets were pretty good for the actual challenge in itself and the strategy. So we've gone through all the numbers in terms of the actual brokers. Matthew, are you here?
Hey, Rox. How's it going?
Okay, perfect. Paulina, we'll let Matthew take over on this one. So we went through the numbers on the brokers in terms of whether it be worth taking a broker with the lowest spreads and a commission-based and commissions. The conclusion is as follows. If Matthew can explain, please.
Yeah, sorry, guys. So when we were doing the review and we were discussing it, we found that the lowest spread option was Thing Traders, if I'm not mistaken. And then for the overall buyer's cost, that's spread and commission that would work out more effective for us, was the LMAX option through FTMO. So those two options are available, just depending on what your preference would be.
So the first,
yeah.
Sorry, continue, Matthew.
So it's how you want to utilize it, Rox. From what I've seen, you could easily go with the higher commissions, enter a trade, and with those lot sizes on those particular entries, using $1,000 risk, let's say, for instance, on the $100,000 account, you could immediately be suffering down $150 to $200 for commission. Or we go with the higher spread with zero commission and just open up our stop losses.
Correct. Thanks for explaining that. If any of the mentors have anything to say, jump in, please. So just long and short of this, there's pros and cons to this, but the overall consensus that we got from our analysis is if you decide to go with higher spreads, lower spreads and commission-based trades, then you're going to potentially put yourself in a situation where if you lose a trade or you even break even a trade, you're still going to have to pay commissions towards that trade, which eventually will end up eating into your percent loss. So as an example, if you decide to risk 1% for the trade and you get a break-even trade, you're still going to be paying that commission on that trade. Eventually, if you take, let's say in Stubbsy's case, on the final stage of his first challenge, he had I don't know if it's his first or second, but either way, he had 3 break-even trades in a row. And that in itself, will eventually accumulate to almost
that was nearly 1%.
Yeah, almost 1%, exactly. Then what you have to think about, guys, is the next trade you take, risking 1%, you're going for a 1 to 3, so technically you're going for a 3% win. By the time you win that trade, you're only going to be recouping back the 1% that you've lost, and then the 2% you think you're going to gain is going to then be eaten up again by the commission that you have to pay for that actual trade itself. So it's not going to even be 2%. So that's just a simple scenario that we played out in our heads in terms of using commissions. In terms of using a higher spread zero commission, simply means that, yes, you may be triggered into a trade early. And yes, if you're taking trades on TradingView and trying to line it up with MT4, they may not correlate. So doesn't the same apply for IC markets, pay commission fees at break even? Stubbs, can you answer that one?
Yeah, because you're paying commission.
You still pay commission, but the spreads on IC markets, more often than not, on the major pairs were almost zero. Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, with the FTMO's broker, with the FTMO with FTMO's broker, what's it called? ThinkMax, Matthew.
No, Rob, sorry. As I'm having a look here on the broker review, the one that we went with the lowest spreads, that was an outsourced broker. That's gone. It's not even on here anymore. So I think what they're trying to do is promote that LMAX, and that's the FTMO broker. So it's the guys that we are reviewing are just dropping off. IC markets, Think markets, everything. So that's a new development.
You know what they're
now,
going because what they're doing, they're going to push everybody over to their own broker.
Yeah, absolutely. Just seeing this now.
In the challenge, don't we? Anyway.
Yeah, but after the challenge, you're going to stick to that broker, right? I don't think you're going to move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, Carlos is our So sorry, just going back to the point before I go to the question in the chat from Carlos and Joel, is with the broker that we was looking at for the commission base, the spreads are still higher than IC markets. So you're always going to be slightly worse than you would be if you was using IC markets and paying commissions. All right. We're just trying to find a happy medium. And you have to all understand that the choices that we're trying to make for you guys are based on how the strategy works best, not how you want to try and manipulate spreads and commissions. Do you understand? And then that's now going to Carlos's questions. Why don't we just take an instant execution trade? Well, Carlos, you know that's not how we trade in this community. To be honest with you, wait. That is actually a very good point, bro. Sorry. You know what, Carlos, that is a very good point, because that's how I do take some of my trades as a sell stop as well. I do think if we try to implement this now at such an early stage, at such a late stage when we're about to start the challenge, then people are not really going to be able to adjust quick enough. Would you let me explain it to everyone, give an idea? Yeah, I got your idea, bro, but I think it's just going to confuse people. What do you mentors think to start now introducing instant executions so late into the start of the challenge?
Could be confusing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be confusing as well, Carlos.
It's going to be confusing.
Yeah.
With what you put in the booklet, you just set your sell stop slightly lower than you normally would.
Yeah. So Summit, if you and him want to have a discussion about this, is fine. I understand what Carlos is trying to say, because this is how I also take my trades as well. It does work, but it's going to be very confusing for some people that understand. So if you want to know how it works, feel free to message Carlos yourself, and anybody else here that wants to figure that out, then go message Carlos yourself. But I will tell you fact, those that will try to implement this, you're only going to say to yourself, I should have waited for a sell stop. I can promise you that now, okay? Or a buy stop. No.
I was going to say the same thing, actually. The fact that it's going to be massive discipline to not try and enter in too early. That's the beauty of a sell stop. You can set it. You can set your trade. Wait.
Yeah. Miguel, stay muted, please. Yeah, that's a good point, D-Mobster. You guys, and that's the good point. Remember, throughout the whole of the challenge, you want to stay disciplined and you want to stay systematic. For those that are not in a position to be watching their charts constantly as well, that will be taking the challenge to take an instant execution as opposed to a sell stop will probably be a bit detrimental. Carlos, come forward if you'd like. If you think we're lost in translation, come forward, bro.
Yeah, so because I'm a US trader, I have to deal with spreads. So managing spreads is always like a problem for me. I trade with Trader's Way, so it makes it a little bit more manageable. But essentially, the way I manage spread to prevent, I brought it up to you a while ago about how like I kept getting caught in the trades, and I have other ways of trading it that are way better. But they have like things to do with limit orders, which I'm still testing right now. But the way I do it is essentially I set a limit order on my trading view. But the only way I'm pulled into it is unless, but I treat it like a instant execution. So it's a limit order, but I treat it like an instant execution. As soon as price hits the limit order, quote unquote, on my trading view screen, I instant execution it. So I don't prevent being pulled in prematurely by spread. And the only thing I have to do is just wait for price to continue into my direction, because I'm just in drawdown from the spread, but I haven't been pulled in prematurely unless it gets my fake limit order gets hit. So that's kind of how I did it. I always do it like that.
Okay, hold on. But because now, if you're talking about limit orders, you're talking about taking a trade against
No,
momentum.
not
Stop
limit
orders.
Stop orders, yes. Sorry, I confused it. Stop orders. So essentially, to prevent being pulled in prematurely, the way I do it is I set my stop order. Sorry, I said limit order. I set my stop order, and when price hits my stop order on my screen, I instant execution it. And this is how I
I know what you mean. I understand that fully.
Draw a line.
Can I just say something? Whenever you do that, because that crossed my mind too, the spread is added onto your price anyway.
Yeah.
So
no, but that's not the point. The point is to prevent being pulled in prematurely due to spread.
But I know exactly what you're saying, but I think actually putting the price a little bit lower, so you are triggered at that price, is the same thing, because otherwise, with instant executions, you may not exactly in a second be accurate where the price is, especially with trading view. Sometimes does not match with the MT4.
Yeah.
And then that spread is added onto your price anyway. And then actually, if you set your stop loss at 5 pips, but then you entered at that point, then your stop loss actually is going to be 6 pips. And if it's going to be hit, then you're going to lose 1,200 instead of 1,000. Does that make sense?
I get what you mean.
I know what you mean, and I've also tested it, but I think the discipline factor is something that I would be concerned about as well.
Yeah, and I think that's why everybody uses stops, because you don't have to really just instant execution it. It just, if you're pulled in, you're pulled in. I get what you mean.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, thank you for clearing that up. Carlos, thanks for your suggestion, and Paulina, thanks for clearing that up. I think that's a very good point. I think Shay just made a point in the chat as well. If the candle, if the candle, wouldn't you miss the entry by the time? Yeah, very good point. So if the price actually is moving in momentum extremely fast, and you're panicking to set the instant execution, you're probably going to miss your best entry. So I think we should stick to. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thanks, Matthew. I think we should stick to sell stops and buy stops. They have been tested extensively by myself, as you heard by Paulina also, and it's just the same thing. If you're going to be triggered in by your spread, you might if you're going to be if you want to enter a trade with an instant execution at your intended entry price, you're waiting for the spread to get to where your buy or sell stop will be. So, as an example, if you wanted to sell out, let's say for an example, at price level 1, and your spread is 1, you're going to be setting your, okay, no, because it's going to be confusing to you guys. Anyway, if your spread is 1, you're going to put your entry 1 pip below the entry, right? Then when you get triggered into that trade, it will be triggered in. Yep.
Well, don't you draw it on your screen quickly with a?
Oh yeah, good point, mate.
Yeah,
good point. So this is what we're looking at. So you guys probably got it anyway, but just that you understand, this is how we're going to be looking at this. Let's just say we're going for a 5 pip stop loss. 5 pip stop loss. This is all going to be explained to you in the book, guys, but I want to just put this out here now so you guys can come forward and ask questions, as opposed to give you all the answers off the bat. Why is this doing this? Oh, okay, that will work. Fine. So let's say this is your entry price at this level here in the market. Let's say the spread is 1 pip. So the spread is in and around this level here. I'm going to just exaggerate this 1 pip so that we can see it. And then oops. And then let's move this one. I don't know why it's not letting me copy it. Anyway, let's just draw another one. And I don't know why it keeps doing that for 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah. So as an example, let's just say your spread is 1 full pip. And just so that you guys know, that will be illustrated as a number 10. Okay. it will be illustrated as a number 10, not 1. Okay, a number 10 for those that don't know. So let's say next to euro pound, you see a number 10. That means 1 full pip. Okay, now you're planning to enter the market here at that red line, that entry price here. Let me just draw this so that I have this as a gauge. And this is price action. So at the top, this is the actual price, and this is the spread where you're going to be triggered into the trade, okay? What you want to be doing, instead of being triggered into the trade prematurely, which is the bottom line is a spread line, instead of being triggered into the trade prematurely, because this is where the actual price is, what you want to do is you want to put the entry 1 pip below the entry price, so that when price moves in momentum and you're triggered into this trade, the top line is the actual price. This is where you will be triggered. Okay. So just one more time, if the number next to the actual currency pair you're trading says 10, then this means 1 full pip. You're going to place your entry 1 pip below, your stop loss 1 pip above, and then what you're going to do, because this is the actual asking price, this is the spread, you're going to make sure that the only time you're triggered into this trade is when the spread hits your stop, and technically that's the price. That's when the actual ask price hits your entry. Does this make sense, Stubbsy?
Yeah, really makes sense to me.
To you, everybody else? The spreads, are they going to fluctuate? They're not going to fluctuate.
They fluctuate anyway, don't they?
Yeah, they fluctuate. Yeah, but Carlos, what you have to understand, right, is you guys should be at the stage of your trading now, especially if you're planning to take this challenge, that you are not entering trades at peak spread times. So if there's more volatility in the market, or there is news, not you, bruv. I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking about in general, okay? If there's news due, or news has just ended, or let's just say there's a lot of volatility in the market and the markets are fluctuating up and down, or let's just call it shivering, where you see the price bouncing up and down, you will see the spread spike. Once the market becomes comfortable and settles again, you will see that the spreads are going down. So just as an example, if the market is spiking up like really fast and fluctuating like this spread probably will rise. A 1 pip spread on the FTMO broker is probably the highest you're going to get. I'm almost sure, unless it's going to obviously be, you know, a period where.
Right. Sorry, man.
Yep.
Exactly what you're just saying now. I see on FTMO, I can give a breakdown from every 4-hour candle close. If you want me to do that in the meantime and see the maximum spread that it offers throughout the day.
You can do that. How long did it take?
Just give me 5 minutes. I see the options just popped up here. Let me have a look.
Yeah, and Hamza, exactly. That's also mentioned in the FTMO bootcamp guide for you. You have to obviously avoid these peak spread times, but just understand the spreads are only going to fluctuate and be higher than 1 pip is when there's a madness in the market. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I don't know why I spent too much time on that. Anyway, hopefully that should answer your questions. I'm just checking if there's any more questions. Some pound pairs are a little higher. Oh yeah, and guys, you have to understand that as well. Some of the pairs that you trade are going to have higher spreads. But anyway, I'm sure Matthew's going to break that down to us in a second. So that's just based on entries and how we suggest that you enter the market based on what we've put together in terms of the best way to enter the market. In terms of broker, we've discussed that as well. Just two elements to the actual challenge itself, but they're very, very important. So really think about that, okay? The pairs that you decide to pick during this challenge are going to be very, very important to the results that you're going to get and how you can best work with the actual broker itself. So basically your stop loss will go from 5 pips to 7 pips. Is that correct? No.
To 6.
To 6 pips.
So let me just add something, Rox. So basically, I've been testing it all week, and I don't know whether you've noticed from my trades, but actually my entries are slightly lower and my stop losses are slightly bigger. And this is the reason why. So obviously, they fluctuate, some of the spreads between 5, 6, and 7, or 8, 9, and 10, or whatever. So you can't exactly predict what the spread is going to be at the time of your entry. So you have to approximately work it out what you might be. So personally, I've been adding between half a pip or a pip to my stop loss and my entry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And, you know, and it's been absolutely fine. So if I've noticed that GBP USD might be at 1 pip, then I will definitely not go just half of the pip higher. I will go full pip higher. But if there is Euro USD and it's only 2, so then I would only go half a pip slightly higher in my stop loss, for example. You just have to test it out. And that's why I've posted so many times, download the demo to play about with the spreads.
I think the question here is, I think the question Ahmed and a few others are asking is if you're adding a pip to your entry, and I'm illustrating here on TradingView that we see in front of us that you have to add a pip to your stop loss. Are you adding a full pip to entry and stop loss, or half a pip each way, or a full pip each way?
I personally added to my stop loss and my entry is slightly lower.
Stubbsy, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So pip to the top, pip to the bottom. We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, now we can just.
Okay. I haven't actually tested it out on the demo.
So listen, I honestly, in my personal opinion, okay, if I was taking this challenge and the whole consensus of the strategy is momentum, you guys will have to follow through with what you feel best for you. That is why it's important that you do try and test this out as much as you can over the next day or two. Whatever you're doing and how well you're doing this week making money, I would really try and test this out on the lowest lot size possible, okay? If you are comfortable with your belief in momentum and entering your trades, then you can add 1 pip to your entry, and I wouldn't worry about your stop loss. Technically, the thought process should be momentum should continue down enough for me to get to break even. If you are worried about spread and price pulling back for like a double top or something, then add the pip. Okay, so it would mean 7 pips in total for a normal 5 pip stop loss if you're going to add a pip each way. If you're comfortable and feel good about the position, then just add a pip to your entry. Can one of you just talk about break even? Once you're at break even, how does that work with spread?
So when you set your break even, you can set your break even literally at your entry price, and it costs you nothing.
It costs you nothing. And in terms, yeah, that's it. It just costs you nothing. And this is something that Pauline has been testing over the last couple of days. And funny enough, you've ended a couple break-even trades with a little bit of profit, right?
Yeah. So basically, look to the right, and you have the price, for example, on Euro GBP 81524, and I would set it up to 81523. And that would even give me a slight profit, like, I don't know, $30 or $40 or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but this is what happens so far with the broker itself. Not sure if it happens across the whole board, but it has been happening recently. Just to mention as well, you guys have to understand if prices pull back to give you a break-even trade, and you do slightly, lose $30 or whatever else, you're not paying that $150 or $200 dollars or euros for the actual commission. So that's why we really advise that you think about going with a non-commission broker. Okay, Rox, when we add a pip to entry, do we also have to add a pip to the TP? Stubbsy can answer that.
It all depends whether you close your trade manually at take profit, or whether you're working on something and you sort of just leave it. So I don't usually set it.
No. So what I would say, guys, I wouldn't personally add a single pip to your take profit. Majority of us in the community, and we'll give you this strategy, it's in the book itself, we'll be looking to take profits around 50% profits around 1 to 2, and then allow the rest of the position to run to 1 to 3. So you're going to bank about 2.5 on the position. If you're not planning to take 50% off at 1 to 2, then let the trade run to 1 to 3. There's no harm in taking 2.8 R. It's not going to mess with your risk reward ratio that much. If you're drastically taking profit at 1 to 1, then you're going to find yourself in a pickle. 1 to 2.8 is hardly going to make a difference in terms of how much percent you need to gain to pass the first stage of the challenge, which is 10%. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question.
And also another upside is when you hit stop loss, you are not losing actually a full $1,000 or euros. You are losing 930.
Yeah, good point.
So whereas with IC markets, if you hit your stop loss, you would have paid around 1,200. So we are actually gaining quite a bit. If you think about it, if you have 2 stop losses or whatever in a row, no need to panic.
Yeah, very good point. You're still under 2% loss. You're sitting at about 1.8% loss.
In my first challenge, I spent $3,500 on commission, 3.5%.
That's huge.
Yeah, so that extra 3.5% could have finished it earlier or whatever. So
yeah, very good point.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Paulina Stubbsy. Abby says, can we take 5% profit when it is break even to cover the commission or spread? 5% profit. So what I think you mean by, yeah, that's what I thought. Can we, when it is breaking to cover the commission? Is that going to be enough, guys? 0.5% to cover commission. You won't need to cover spread, Abby, as we've just discussed. If you're paying, if you're choosing a commission-based broker, is 0.5% going to be enough? What does that equate to? £50? No, less than, right?
500.
0.5% of an open position. I don't think so.
Oh, right. Sorry.
0.5%, 1%. 1% is free. Each percent is 1,000.
Yeah, it's 500 because that's
500,
0.5%, isn't it? If we are risking 1,000.
Really?
25.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be? Because 1% of 1,000.
So basically, if you closed 0.5% at 1-to-1, then your overall 1-to-3 would end up at 2% gain. So just think about whether that you want the price to work so hard to reach your 1-to-3 to only get 2%. Then you may as well take 1-to-2 trades.
So what they're asking is not to take 50% off, but to take. So who's a mathematician here to work this out? Because I'm far from.
Does he mean 0.05?
0.05.
Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know whether that would cover it.
No, it wouldn't, because it's not 500.
Yeah, probably not.
It's 50, I'm sure. Yeah, it's 50. Yeah, so it's not worth it.
Well, so you basically have to close 25% of it.
Yeah, you need.
Yeah, you'd have to close anywhere from 15 to 25%.
Yeah,
if you go to commission based.
Yeah, 1,025%, correct. So if price moves 1-to-1 and you close 25%, that means you then cover the commission if you're taking a commission-based broker. Never mind. Anyway, the point is the maths just doesn't work out to take 0.5 off. If that's what Abby meant. Okay, cool. I'm glad you understand. Good question. Anyway, all right. So have you got the figures?
Yeah. So I'm having a look. So the FTMO broker hasn't built up enough data yet, but there is a couple of them that shows that it can fluctuate. This is Euro USD specifically. That on zero commission, the majority of the pairs that have zero commission, their spreads can fluctuate 0.3 on Euro USD up to 5. And that can be at midday sometimes as well.
Well, that's half a pip.
Yeah.
So that's not bad at all on Euro
USD. It can
USD.
go half a pip to 5 pips.
Oh.
That's news though, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's before big news events, the fluctuation kicks in. So it's showing min spread and max spread. So we need to pay attention to news-related issues, anything like that, and execute at the right times.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
seeing it at European time, so 8 to 12. It's showing 0.3 to 3.1. Obviously, like Stubbsy and you said, that's news bumping Euro USD up to 3 pips.
Yeah.
In one go.
Absolutely. Okay, and that's Euro USD.
Yeah.
Any other figures?
That's it for now, but the GBP pairs, they can bump up from 0.3 all the way to 8.
Yeah, but again, that's going to be news.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously high spread times, right? During
and
the peak
one
time.
of the best brokers, other than the FTMO broker, Cresco, they offer zero commission. Their spreads on GBP with news inflection can jump up to 16 pips. So again, these guys are definitely trying to promote their partnership.
Definitely. They're doing a really good job.
Yeah.
Very good at what they're doing. Okay, fine. So that should answer your questions. Everybody that's here. So broker, we've made our suggestion. You don't have to go for it, but we suggest it's the right idea based on this strategy. In terms of entering trades, we believe that we found the best way to execute trades. And we obviously mentioned you're just going to add your spread to your entry. It's then the decision whether you want to add it to your stop loss. And then in terms of your take profit, we suggest that you settle for 2.9 or 2.8 or whatever it may be. Technically, you guys shouldn't be entering trades more than 1 pip spread at maximum. That would be absolutely insane if you're doing that. Paulina, are the spreads the same in the trial?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. AU is really low, around the same with EU on, yeah, that's fine. Okay, fine. So,
Rox, can I suggest something to everybody who's going to take the challenge?
please.
It would be wise for you guys to open up a trial version just to check out the spreads and try to eliminate the higher spread pairs so you don't have to do that anymore next week.
Yeah, prepare yourselves. We've made a suggestion for the pairs that we think, or give you an idea of what pairs would be best for you, including pairs like EU, EJ, UJ, GU, EJ, EG. And then we've given you pairs that we as mentors will be trading ourselves or be focusing on the most. So you guys could get an idea of what we will be looking at ourselves. Now, you guys have to understand, this is not us just taking the numbers and, you know, crunching it and saying this is the best strategy. This is actually taking information from Stubbsy himself, who has actually passed the challenge on 2 occasions. So congratulations to him. This will be his 3rd run. And then we have obviously Chantel, who done very well in the beginning. She'll be taking this again. And then we do have quite a couple of other members who have actually passed the challenge and done pretty well. So this information has been collected through those that have actually taken the challenge and have done well with it. So just bear that in mind, okay? Does anybody have any questions on what we've just discussed right now before I move on? No. Now, D-Mobstar, you actually sent something to the group in the FTMO challenge group, and I really appreciate you doing this. Do you mind just discussing this from your perspective, if you've got a minute?
Yeah, sure, I don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, I was just trying to basically sort of stamp home that during this challenge, you don't want to be stressing yourself if you start off in the first 3 days and take 3 losses on the bat. You know, you've got to maintain that this is a long-term 20-day or 30-day challenge, I guess it is, that you really need to keep track of your trades like you do on the spreadsheets when you do the 100-trade challenge. But also trying to get yourself too disheartened about it. So I just spun some numbers through a grid, thinking roughly, let's say 15 trades during the FTMO challenge, which you may or may not need to do, because if you hit your target profit, obviously, you're going to be entering very small lot trades and closing them 1 pip in profit just to close out the 10 trading days. But if you were to have to do your 15 trading days, I just spun some numbers in regards to how much win-loss rates and break-even rates make sort of very little difference. You don't need to hit an 80% win rate to pass this challenge. And it also iterates the fact that if you can get your break even using the momentum, it is even more powerful. I think one of the examples I had, I think there was a 60% break even with 2 losses, means you only need a 26% win, which means out of the 15 trades, if you lose 2, you only have to win 4 and break even the rest, and you've passed it again. So it does actually pay to give that some thought, especially in the last example where for the first 8 trades, you lost 4 and you break even 4. You're still within the capital, but you only needed another 4 or 5 wins, I think it was, and it's a 33% win rate to actually finish the challenge off, even though you started with 8 trades worth of no profit. So it's just really to iterate that point that you've got to look at the long-term game rather than the first 3 trades and you failed and, oh dear, I need to up my lot sizes, or I need to go for 1 to 5 to try and win this thing back. So it was really to iterate that point.
Wow, man. Bro, listen, you guys, if you sleep on this every single night and really get this into your head, I mean, personally, just looking at this one in itself is unbelievable. Imagine, and it's going to be real hard, believe me, but imagine your first 8 trades, you take 4 losses, and you take 4 losses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 losses and 4 break-even trades. Look where you still can be with this challenge. Do you understand? It's not impossible. And the likelihood of you taking 4 losses or taking 4 break-even trades in your first 8 trades is very, very unlikely. Because remember, if a trade is in profit and it's pushing down, you're looking at break-even, and then it goes to 1 to 2 and you're taking 50% off, you're still adding to these profits along the way. Do you understand? And what we suggest you do, it's a personal preference, but if price action, and remember, you have to understand you are in this for the long run, okay? There is actually 22 trading days for this month, which is unbelievable for you guys taking the challenge. There is so much time. But let's just say the market is moving in your direction. It hasn't yet hit 1 to 1. You're expecting the market to continue to go down. Where price is at now, this range that you have to your stop loss is a cushion when entering this trade. That's why you have it above the structure high. So if price is pushing down, there is no reason why you should be allowing, or technically allowing price to pull back to hit your full 1% stop loss. So if we go back to these statistics here, these are based on a 1% loss, right? Now, let's think about this. If price moves in your intended direction but doesn't hit 1 to 1, and you just do this, move your stop loss to half, look how you're going to increase your chances by 50% and decrease your loss by 50%. Because now if price comes back, you don't really want to see price hovering around your stop loss. You take the L, you take the 50% loss, and now you have an extra trade to take, or technically half a trade to take moving forward. Now, I hope that makes sense, but I would suggest, and it has been discussed, and this is something Stubbsy does a lot, and I do a lot, is when price starts to move in your direction with strong momentum, let's say a big 5-minute candle pushes down, or when a 15-minute candle is pushing down, or whatever time frame you are entering on, I personally would say try your stop loss to half until you're comfortable to go to break even. It's better that you protect your capital and have more leverage for the next day. And we go into details about that in the actual guide itself, and position yourself, position yourself better for the next day as opposed to taking a full loss when you don't really need to take it. Does this make sense? Wouldn't that be compensating for early taking profits? What, trailing your stop loss to half, Wesley? I don't think I understand your question. If that was directed to me.
Can I just one other thing I was going to mention, Rox, regarding that those charts and numbers, is although I fixed them at 15 trades, some of them people with more of a keen eye maybe noticed that actually on the first one you would be done with a challenge by trade 9. On the second one you'd be done with a challenge by trade 8. On the third one you'd be done with a challenge by trade 9. And it's only the last one. If you start off particularly badly, you'd have to get to trade 14 before you actually won the challenge. So actually realize quite how quickly you can do this thing if it actually pans out.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, this is so powerful. This is unbelievable, bro. I really appreciate you putting this together, man. I wish we added it to the guide, but I think this could be separate. I think everybody should sleep with it above their heads, man, and just look at it before they go to sleep and wake up to it, because it just really will get you it will really get you in the right mindset of thinking, or avoid thinking or getting disheartened and feeling emotional and, being psychologically, distraught about the fact that you lost your first trade and you break even your second 2 trades. What DMobs has put together is just really, it's in the chat, guys. You'd have to screenshot it, but it's just really, really going to set you up well and just continue to keep your hopes up throughout the whole challenge itself. Hopes alive. Okay, so we've spoken about that. So quickly, guys, just so we can move on to the next point, do you have any questions regarding what we've just discussed? And does anything need to be cleared up? No. Okay, fine. Okay, perfect, Wesley. Now, right, so moving on to the risk percent. The suggestion from the community, from the mentors, is that we believe as a whole that you guys should be working with 1% risk, no more or no less. Now, that doesn't mean that some of you are not going to be risking more because you want to complete the challenge more, and some of you are going to be risking less because you are going to feel a little bit more anxious about taking the trades themselves or potentially losing. I've put something together in the book and the mentors agree with it. 1% actually works out to be your best option. Technically, your risk of ruin is taking 10 losses in a row. Okay? Technically. Now, or, if you want to get a bit pedantic about it, we can say 9. But what I'm saying is 10 losses in a row. If you keep that in the back of your mind, you are in a very good position. Now, one thing I try to bang on about every single day or week or however often I can when the question arises is based on a 1 to 3 risk reward strategy and the way we trade and the opportunities that are available to us with the patterns that are there in the market. If you lose on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and take 1 win on a Thursday, you finish the week break even. That's just 4 trades. There is no reason why those taking a challenge now should not be at a stage where you will not lose 10 trades in a row. Now, if you plan to increase your risk by 2%, you obviously decrease your trading opportunities to half, which means if you take 5 losing trades in a row, then you're in trouble. Which means, back to my theory, if you take 3 losing trades on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, based on the risk percent of 2%, you're down 6%, and the pressure that you're going to put on yourself is going to be insane. Because now you're 4% from your maximum drawdown, and you're almost 2-4, and you've already bust. Well, no, you haven't actually, because the 5% resets daily, but you're just almost at 4% away from your overall drawdown, which is just going to put too much pressure on you. So I've broken it down. I'm not going to go into too much discussion about this as to why we believe 1% is the best choice moving forward. And Stubbsy mentioned something really nice that you guys can have a read of in your own time in terms of what the markets will do and what you guys should expect the markets to do. So why 1% is better. Anybody planning to risk more, it's going to be off of your own back, and no one, the mentors, me, FTMO are not going to take responsibility for that. Okay. 1% of the balance. There's an aggressive version that will allow 2% risk, but it's the same as the normal. Yeah, it is the same as the normal. Can we risk 1% of the balance? Yes, you can. And this is one thing, actually, I forgot about this. But if you guys are not good at figuring out what lot size to use for, the account size you're going to be using, then you better get comfortable with using a calculator real quick. Okay. I think there's apps that you can use. I believe Stinu, and then you have MyFXBook, and then you have a few others. Get real comfortable with them really quickly. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? Mentors, did I miss anything, or is that should be clear enough?
Ross?
Yes.
Sorry, on that Stinu, it might seem trivial, but what I've started doing is I've limited the pairs that I'll be doing the challenge with. Mm-hmm. And on that, you give a general screenshot. So you go into the app, you screenshot and you paste it into PDF, and then it's stuck there, and then you've got it on your desk. So you don't have to worry about trying to open an app, any delays like that. It's just something small that I've done, and I find it works really well.
So you've basically worked out the lot sizes from like 1 to 10 pip stop
from
losses.
5 to 15, and I just screenshot that and paste it in a PDF document.
I did that today as well, Matt. I did exactly the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had a couple of, I had issues with it previously, and I told Stubbsy about this, and then I went on to the fact of printing it off, and it just sits there in front of me, and I never have to worry about opening an app again. Always set to my 1%, and that's it.
I think Bilal has posted a PDF like that as well in a channel. I'm gonna pin it now so everyone can download it if they want to.
I think he's done that for EU only though, or Euro only, right?
Let me have a look.
Euro only.
Yeah. Euro CAD, Euro JPY, Euro USD, Euro.
Is Bilal here?
No, actually, Australian dollar. He's done it for New Zealand dollar. Okay, 3.
Okay, so that's just a little bit of something for you guys to do, to get those lot sizes prepared from. I personally would say work from 3 to 15 and have them all, in front of you ready, so you don't have to use any apps. That's a great idea.
I don't mind helping everyone if I can sit this weekend and do all the pairs. So literally just logging in and going from 3 to 15, like you said, and I can just put a PDF together for everyone.
That would be perfect, Matthew, man.
Okay, and I'll base it on what are the overall capitals? Should I go 25,000, 50, and 100?
No, because some are using euro, some are using dollar, right?
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question though? If you're doing 1% of your balance and you've won the first 2, are you still sticking to 1% of your start balance, or are you going to change it up to your new balance, which would be,
good point,
I don't know, 100,006?
I just stick at 1% all the way
myself
through.
As well.
So you stick to your original 100,000 1%?
Yeah, that's what I do, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's probably a good point.
Then at the end of the month, it resets on my accounts. So, yeah.
Wow, that's a good point. So you never increase the 1% to 100, and so you say you take your first win at 103,000. You never increase your 1% for the 103,000 total. You increase it. No, you just leave it at 100,000.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something to think about, guys. If it's worked on 2 occasions, then I don't see why it won't work again. Rox, one question, please. Is it okay to apply cut stop loss by 50? Is it okay to apply a 50% stop loss cut? Only high probability setups, bro. That's gonna be down to you, man. There are times you're gonna be wicked out, absolutely, but I think for this challenge, everybody needs to be really regiment about how they manage their risk. Remember, everybody must keep this in their heads. If you finish the challenge in profit but haven't completed your objectives, you will get another chance to take the challenge again for free. So you need to really trust the process throughout the whole challenge and just do the best you can daily to manage your risk. And if your profits come, they come. At the end of it, if you're continually doing that, I believe there's no reason why you guys shouldn't pass. The minute you start pissing about with your risk management and start getting greedy and chasing trades and X, Y, and Z, that's when you're going to have a problem. So if you get wicked out, you get wicked out. I think take the L and move on. I would say it's a personal preference, what works for you. For Stubbsy himself, he goes stop loss half the minute he feels comfortable to do so, and break even when the time is right. So it's a personal choice, but I think it's the best suggestion moving forward from everybody, okay? Cavell, we've answered that question already. Stubbsy has mentioned that he will stick to 1% regardless, if his balance increases or not, okay? He's just playing the numbers game up to 10%.
Yeah, because another valid point about sticking to the 1% of your original balance is every trade you're winning is giving you more ability to lose without losing effectively. Does that make sense?
No, it really does make sense.
If you lose a few, you're not going to lower it, are you, either?
No.
Because that
makes
exactly less chance of getting to the target.
Yes, it does, yeah.
So I found it's just best to stick to 1%, yeah.
Wow, that is
over $1,000, $1% of the 100,000.
That is really good advice, man. Okay, fine. So, Kif, to your question now, let's move on. How many trades should you take per day? The suggestion that we have come to have made as a whole is that you take one trade only per day, regardless whether it be a win, a break even, or a stop loss. Now, in the booklet that we're going to give you, Stubbsy talks about if you're, depending on your level of confidence and your ability to control your emotions or whatever else, if you take a break-even trade, it is down to you to take a trade again. But remember, you have 22 days to do this challenge. And now what DMobster has provided for us, even if you take a break-even trade, at your best, you can, and you don't take as many losses or whatever else, it's just all here for you. You still can pass the challenge in no time, okay? Break-even trades. So take a trade, win, lose, or break even, move on, prepare your head and mind for tomorrow, and take another trade, okay? It's the most important thing. And I don't know if anybody has anything to add to this. The reason why I'm not going into too much details is because it's in the booklet. But if anybody wants to add something to this, please do so. Okay. I would just say Stubbsy, his first challenge, he took a trade. You was trading. Oh no, we're going to that in a second. So yeah, we suggest one trade a day. Okay, just really one trade a day. The next thing is based on the one trade a day is should you be trading daily? Now in the booklet again, we go into talking about this, but just from Stubbsy's example. Yeah, just from Stubbsy's example from doing the challenge twice, he said on the first challenge, he actually took a trade every single day. Now, remember, it's his first challenge and, he's eager to pass it and he hasn't experienced anything like this before. And he took a trade every single day. And he actually said that it was exhausting. It was not needed. And by the end of it, he was in a position where he had to win his final trade to pass a challenge. Okay. Some days, guys, just remember, regardless whether you're doing the challenge or not, it's exactly the same as how we're trading now. Some days there'll be a setup, other days there won't. So we suggest to only trade when the setup is there for you. And one point I think Paulina mentioned or Chantel mentioned is that the day, if one of you want to come forward and mention it for us, please, it would be I think this is an important point. The day you don't trade.
Oh, if there's no setup on that day, but you still want to gain the trading day because you have to have a minimum of 10 trading days in a month or to pass the challenge, then you can just open the smallest amount of lot size, so 0.01. And then if that becomes a losing trade or whatever, it's the outcome will be so minimal it will not affect your balance, but it will add up to your trading days.
Yeah, so that's a very good point because understand, guys, if you get 3 good trades in a row and you pass a challenge on the 3rd or 4th day, say, you still have to trade for a full 10 days. So for the days that they're not a trading setup, as Chantal just mentioned, open up a 0.01 lot trade, either open it and close it or open it and let it run out, whatever you want to do. It's not going to affect your balance, but it will add your 10 trading days so that you can get that out of the way as fast as possible. Whether that's a win or lose at 0.01, just view that as a break-even day. Okay?
Exactly. And the day you do not take the trade, just treat it as a break-even day. You have not risked anything, you have not lost anything, you still are maintaining your balance, and then you can take a trade where there's an actual opportunity. Do not force it. If you can't find something, shut your laptop and walk away, come back at the next 4H close.
Very good
but
point.
If you don't take anything, it's a break-even day. You won that day.
Very good. Very good point. Very good point. Does anybody have any questions on this or does this make sense? We have a question. Oh, no, we don't. Oops. Clear. Perfect. Okay. the next point I want to get on to, so entering trades, stop losses, best times to trade. Okay, guys, so this should be common sense to you all. But in terms of best times to trade, our suggestion to you guys would be from London open to London close. Okay, the reason why we say this is where the most, the highest, the peakest time of the, this is going to be the best time to trade based on the strategy where the highest volume is going to be. Okay. Now, you have to understand after London closes, obviously New York will still be trading, and there will be traders here in the group that will be trading during that time. Just understand the volume is going to be decreased a little bit. Those that are experienced at trading during those times, feel free to do so. Those that are not, I would stick to trading London open to London close. Okay. Remember, there is a high peak time for spreads. It will be different times for wherever you guys live. So also be mindful of that. And in terms of the Asian session, if you plan to trade through the Asian session, just understand the volatility is going to be lower, okay? And the spreads might be slightly higher. It's very, very important to remember that. So that's our suggestion. I do go into a few more details regarding that in the booklet. I just want to make you aware regarding the actual bootcamp itself, mentors will be trading at these times, and these are the times that we will be active to, support and guide you in the right direction. Matthew will be trading the 6 till 10 4H candle, London time, so whatever time you guys have to work that out, and the 10 till 2. Now, I didn't put 10 till 2 in the booklet because it was 6 till 10 initially, but if he's available, he'll be there 10 till 2. The Mobstar, due to his lifestyle, will be trading the 6 till 10 candle. Paulina will be trading 6 till 10, 10 till 2, probably 2 till 6, and then 6 till 10, and then probably 24 hours, okay? No, only joking. But she's trading 6 till 10, 10 till 2, all right? Chantel will be trading 6 till 10. Stubbsy will be trading 6 till 10. I'm almost sure that these mentors that are trading these candles will still be there to support you guys, but I'm just giving you an idea of where these guys and ladies find their best times to trade, okay? And then myself, I will be supporting you guys through the 6 till 10, 10 till 2 candle. I will be shutting down my screen from about 3 o'clock, and I will not be looking for no trades, period, after about 3. All mentors are in the same boat as me. They will not be looking for trades after 3, I think latest 4, but we'll keep it at 3, and whatever happens, happens. But at 3 p.m. London time, we will not be looking for trades. For those that are in a different country and are waking up at that time or around that time, we do apologize, but we'd like to put it out there to you now. So if it's going to affect you, taking the challenge, we just want to make you aware of this. We are just making sure that we have a window to trade in so that we're staying disciplined and focused during the peakest time to trade the strategy. Okay. Are you taking the challenge? No, I won't be taking the challenge, Carlos. I'll be using my time to support you guys. Okay. Okay, so best times to trade. We've done the risk percent. We've done the open trades. I talk about taking losses. We talk about taking losses, so don't worry about that. Now, does anybody have any questions on this before we move on? We've done pretty well in terms of timing, guys. Remember, the booklet's there anyway. So, and if you have any further questions, you can ask us, during the course of the rest of this week. But do you have any questions on what we've just gone over now? Because I want to talk to you about something that's very, very important. Nope. Okay. So I just want to make you guys aware, we are going to have a FTMO challenge bootcamp group. Everybody is welcome to be there. Okay. Now, those that are taking the challenge, I want to make sure that you deep down in your heart of hearts and in your head are ready to take on this responsibility. It's going to be a big milestone in your trading career and potentially in your life. Do you understand? And that's going to come with a lot of responsibilities. It's going to come with a lot of anxieties. It's going to come with a lot of stress. It's going to come with a lot of emotions. It's going to knock you down psychologically. It may affect you at home. It may affect your trading. It may affect so much. We want you all, those who are taking the challenge, to be 100% certain that you are ready for this, regardless if the mentors are here or not, and whether we are running this boot camp or not. If you guys are not 100% certain that you are comfortable to take the challenge off your own back without our support, then I personally believe you are not, this is not the time for you to take it. Now, touch wood, God forbid, if something happened to myself and all the mentors, and you were 2 days into this challenge and we weren't there for you, if you're going to be in a situation where you're screwed, then you should not take this challenge. Okay? Now, I just want to make sure that we will not take, myself, Rox, or the mentors will not hold any responsibility or be held accountable for your challenge results. Whether you win, lose, or get another opportunity. Okay, you guys are fully responsible for every trade that you take, the decisions that you make, and the results that you get, whether it be win, pass, or have a chance to choose the challenge again. Okay? I want you to understand that fully. Now, myself and the mentors will be there to guide you each step of the way. The amount of members that are going to be taking the challenge, you have to understand what level of help will everyone receive. Okay, I'm going into that, Hamza. What we will be doing, guys, and ladies, we will be guiding you through this challenge. We will be supporting you emotionally, psychologically. We will be there to help you to review your trades, and we'll also be there to just support you with any questions or queries you may have. What we will not be doing is providing you signals. Signals are a no-go, and it has always been a no-go through the last year and a half of RoxFX Academy. What we plan to do, and this is why I say I want everybody to be sure that you understand the strategy itself, you have a good understanding of the patterns you trade, and you are confident to take trades off of your own back. What we will be doing is we will be monitoring our own pairs individually, and we will be discussing it together as mentors in the FTMO Bootcamp group. As an example, if Stubbsy spots a potential trading opportunity on USD CAD, he may be ready to go in for that trade. I then may come in and say, I see the trade and it's a good setup, but I'm going to hold off from this one because of X, Y, and Z. Or he comes forward and said, the reason why I plan to take this trade is because the 1 hour candle closed bearish and there's wicks forming on the 15-minute time frame. I may look to the 5 minutes for a lower high. That should then trigger you guys to then go to USD CAD, look at that pair and say to yourself, well, yeah, this looks like a good opportunity, and then take the trade based on whether you feel it's the right time to take the trade, not because Stubbsy says he's looking to take a trade. Okay? Because what I don't want is Stubbsy to take the trade and lose, you guys to trust Stubbsy so much because you think he's a dog's bollocks, which he is, and then risk 3% secretly behind closed doors and then blow the account. I will not allow anybody to jump onto the mentors in this community because they provide way too much for you guys. No, not way too much. They provide a lot for you guys. And I don't want them to have that burden of having to carry, the repercussions of you doing something silly. So we will guide you in the right direction. And in the FTMO bootcamp itself, only mentors are allowed to talk and post. Okay? It's very important that you understand this. We will be guiding you. We will not be using this as a Q&A session for 12 hours of the day. So mentors will discuss where they see potential trade setups, what pairs they're looking at, why they're looking at these pairs X, Y, and Z. And for those that are part of the challenge can then continue as normal and as you already do in the general chat and discuss it amongst yourselves or ask the mentors questions as to why they think this is a setup. If they've given a full description as to why they're looking at the setup, then that's your answer. Do you understand? It's not to then question their motives and say, well, there's a wick to the bottom. Are you not worried about that? They're just going to point you to that direction and we will do the questioning. So if Stubbsy says I'm taking it, or let's say Chantel says I'm taking a trade on pound yen, I'm looking for a sell, but I see a huge wick to the upside and I see bullish momentum, I will draw her attention to that. Okay. And I don't know if you guys in the chat have seen it, me and Paulina and Chantel and Paulina. And, you know, at times we bounce off of each other, and we, like today, me and Paulina were talking about GU for a majority of the day. And you can see the trades that won, the trades that will break even. Even the day before, we done Euro CAD and Euro USD. We're going to be doing that, but in a little more detail. Okay. So just know this: anybody that's in the FTMO group taking a challenge, you will be guided by the mentors in the right direction. Any questions or queries, you answer in the general chat. And yeah, that's that for now. Make it a one-way channel for just no. Let me tell you something. I can't do that on Slack. It doesn't give me that feature. But what I will make a point of, guys, yeah, it's really unfortunate. Anybody that messages in the FDMO channel, sends a chart, asks a question, or whatever else, will be removed from that channel immediately. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but of course, we want to keep it clutter-free. And we, as mentors, you know, this is in itself a little bit of pressure for us because we want the best for you. Do you understand? We don't want to have to deal with somebody asking a silly question or putting in a chart that we don't really want to be looking at. That's not me being rude whatsoever. It's just trying to keep, you know, a clear level head so that we can focus to try and support you the best way possible. If anybody
Rob?
hasn't, hello?
Yeah, I have a question. We already have the channel, right? The FTMO group channel. Is that same channel gonna be used? And so
No.
as of Monday?
No, I'm gonna
No.
delete the channel
Okay.
over this weekend. I'm gonna make the channel private, and then I'm gonna add the members that have invested in the FTMO challenge, and then those that would like to be there. Because at the
Okay.
moment, there's probably, you know, 20-25% are trigger happy, you know, members that have joined it because it was exciting at the time, and they probably have gone AWOL. So for those members, I just want to really hone it into those that have paid and that really want to be there.
Okay, cool.
All right. Because some new members might have joined without, you know, some members may have joined through joining the community automatically and don't even know they exist, and then accidentally post a chart, and then it's just long. Okay. Guys, do you have any questions regarding that in terms of direction and in terms of, for those who are not ready now but will be ready in a month, let's say, can they join then? No, unfortunately not. We're going to be carrying members, not carrying, but we're going to be supporting members in stage 1 and stage 2. Now, those that move on to stage 2, the way we approach stage 2 may be slightly different to how we approach stage 1. So it's the challenge, if successful and run well and smoothly, I will run the FTMO bootcamp again, maybe a month later. The mentors are going to need a rest. I'm going to need a rest. So probably a month later. We'll see how things go. But for now, unfortunately, the answer to that question is no. A week later is fine. A month later is not. Okay. Good question. Any other questions on that, please? Okay. Now, in terms of supporting you, will the chat be open for the challenge and the second part? Yeah, it'll be open for both parts. To be clear, for people who are not taking the challenge, can we join the channel to watch the progress and stay silent? Yes, you can join. Absolutely, Sev. Those that are not taking the challenge are welcome to join. Is the FTME channel a call or on Slack? So Auto Trader, I'll go into that in a second. I'm going to kick back on this one. No problem, Carlos. Yeah, cool. So Auto Trader, it's going to be, so the main channel is going to be on Slack, as you see now in the community, how we share our trades, but with a lot less clutter and no banter. It's strictly going to be trade focus based. In terms of the calls, so you guys are obviously not going to win every single trade, and you're not going to be floating through this like Mary Poppins. Do you understand? There are going to be days you're going to feel down, you're going to feel, you know, whatever. just shit's going to hit the roof at one point or another for at least one or two of you, or a few more. So what we plan to do is set aside 3 days out of the week. The days are going to stay the same as the live sessions are as now. It's going to be Tuesdays, Wednesdays. The reason why Tuesdays and Wednesdays, because it allows Monday. That's fine, bro. The reason why Tuesday and Wednesdays, because it allows us to trade Monday and Tuesday morning. So if you have any losing trades, you're feeling rough, whatever else, we can discuss that on a Tuesday. That will be at the same time. We'll still be able to go over the charts. We rarely go over charts now anyway. We go over 5, 6 or 7 charts from members that are coming forward from their winning trade. So we can focus on FTMO. I think it'd be very good for you guys as well, because it'd be very structured, and we know that the traders taking the challenge at this time hopefully will be very disciplined. So there'll be a lot to learn from it. So it'll be Tuesday and Wednesday at, I believe I've put it down at 1 p.m. Correct, 1 p.m. And then Sunday midday, we'll do the review. We'll do the review again of your losing trades only. Okay. Probably said that all backwards, but Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday will be for losing trades only. Losing trades only. No one cares about your wins. Just losing trades only. All right.
Rox, can you add something to that?
Yeah.
FTMO has an option that you can upload your screenshots from your entry and your close position. So I would really suggest to everybody that is taking the challenge to document all your trades from the entry and the close, and then upload it in the FTMO website. And then you can scroll back when we have these sessions, so you can have your losing trades ready.
Very good. That's a great suggestion. Thank you, Chantal. Great suggestion. Okay. And then obviously, if you guys are going through some rough times and you want to have a chat to me about it, or you want to just get it off your chest, then you can obviously have that discussion with us mentors on the chat off the on these live sessions. Okay. Now, I'm not going to obviously just set this in stone. Let's just say on a Thursday or Friday, somebody's hit, a brick wall, or, something really bad has happened, or somebody needs to really talk, then I will be there personally. And I'm sure the mentors will be there, but, address me first, and then I will see what we can do moving forward. If someone passes challenge, starts trading a real account, say they make 6,000 profit and then violate one of the objectives the next day, do they lose the profits as well as the account, or do they keep profits? Well, that's for after you pass. Luke, Stubbsy should answer that. Thank you, Stubbsy. Say they make 6,000 profit and then violate one of the objectives the next day. I don't really understand that question.
I understand.
Do you?
No.
Hamza, try to rephrase that question, bro. Do you have to recheat the challenge after passing it?
Yeah, if you break any of the rules, you do.
It's possible, because let's say you wanna max out your risk for that day, right? You're allowed to risk on a 100K challenge. You're allowed to risk 5,000, right, yeah. Stubbsy?
Yes, yeah.
So then that's 5%. So if you want to max a day for 5%, you have been trading 1% every day, but then on one day you decide to do 5% and you lose.
Yeah, because your maximum for the day is 5%.
That's the only way how you would lose then, if you had 6,000 profit. Then you violated the daily loss.
Yes. So basically,
if you break a rule, you're done. You'll have to take the challenge again.
Yeah, but say if you made profit before then, will you keep that profit or lose that profit as well?
In that month, if you've made the profit, I'm not sure because it hasn't actually happened to me, but I imagine you wouldn't get the profit.
Yeah, say if your week's going good and you made 5 to 6 grand, and one of the days, I don't know, you'd be silly or something, and you
you'd have to be real freaking stupid to do that.
No, I'm just saying it's just like one of the cases. What happens? I'm just a bit curious. That's all.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I doubt you get anything.
Yeah, but like I said, the only way to lose the account at that point is if you would use your maximum risk for the day. That's the only way.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't think that anybody would do that. Why would you jump from 1% trading every day to 5%? one day. It wouldn't make sense.
I was
You're just
curious.
asking hypothetical.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. No problem. You guys can ask all the questions, Hamza. That's absolutely fine, bro. We're not getting on to you, but that's your answer.
Maybe if you want to know the answer to that, you could message them.
Yeah, definitely.
Mind you don't give them your
mind
you don't give them your full name and they put you on a blacklist for even asking them that question. Okay, fine.
Rod, sorry, can I add to that one quickly?
Always,
maybe
man.
Stubbsy can answer this. So it's just interesting. So I've been reading through the website, and in the one disclaimer, they state that they will cover your losses. Based on the fact and how I interpret that is, let's say you're having one bad month, okay? So you've done a withdrawal, you've actually made money the 1 month once you've passed the challenge and verification. And let's say you down 1% the following month. Is that violating the actual account? And do they bump you back up, Stubbsy, to 100,000? Let's say you did that, or do you stay on 99,000 going into the next month?
You wouldn't
I've asked
know.
you this question before. You'd stay on it. You'd stay on 99.
Yeah, of course, Stubbsy wouldn't know. Always ending in profit.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So for the sake of it, I'll send them an email. Sorry, Stubbsy.
Okay, fine. So that's how the FTMO group will be run. That's how we'll support you through the live sessions, and obviously general chat. We'll obviously monitor that if you just at one person. Now, what I want to say to you guys, obviously there's more details in this booklet to read through. The booklet itself is, a guide for dummies, to be honest with you. And the reason why, hopefully you understand that phrase, but the reason why is because it can really be this simple, okay? And what has been put together by the mentors is, the most simplest, easiest, safest, and the best way to maximize your chances of passing this challenge, okay? Anybody that decides to do anything outside of this, feel free to do so. This is not something you have to abide by. However, we do suggest that you consider, taking the challenge in this fashion. Now, the biggest struggle you guys are going to face is obviously going to be, emotionally and psychologically, and really trusting the process of, taking a loss, taking a break even, and then still having the chances of, passing the challenge. Or let's say you do very well at the start, and then you go through a bad patch through the middle, and then you're still like 4% away, a few days to the end. Now, we do have answers to those questions, but we're hoping that nobody gets to that stage. But there are ways that you can, manipulate the actual challenge itself to leverage yourself forward, to either hit the target or to get a chance to retake the challenge again. What we would do is obviously evaluate and the members accordingly, not each of you, but as collectively, and obviously those that are speaking up more than others throughout the course of the challenge. And whoever needs support will help you individually with whatever else is you need. I'm asking you guys very kindly, very, very kindly, during the challenge, do not message the mentors privately at all, okay? If you at them in the general chat and you say, look, I have a question, it's really urgent, and they say, fine, message me, do so. But I don't want anybody in the FTMO group to message any of the mentors privately regarding the FTMO challenge. Address me first, please, and then I'll direct you, because I don't want them to have an influx of messages, because they are also taking the challenge, and I want their main focus to be passing the challenge more than, basically, illustration, putting their mask on first before they worry about yours. So please bear that in mind. They are all taking the challenge as well, and they will need, to make sure that's what they're focusing on first. And that's why we structured it like this. Anybody, the mentors themselves are going to be fully focused on passing this challenge. So anything they put in that FTMO group is going to be maximum quality. There's going to be nobody throwing anything out there blasé and, look, there might be something over here. It's going to be literally what they think is a potential trade. So, as I said, there's no signals, but just bear that in mind. Now, there are going to be members that resonate with different mentors and their styles. I suggest that you go through each member's files on Slack and take a look at their trades and their patterns, or if you recognize who trades similar to you, that you may want to, zero in on them throughout the challenge and say to yourself, well, yeah, that's my style. Because let's say at 6:30, Stubbsy says I'm looking at USD CAD, and then 6:40, I say I'm looking at Aussie dollar USD, and then at 6:45, Chantel comes in with GJ. You guys are going to be split between 3 screens and 3 charts, and you're going to be running backwards and forwards, and you're going to get yourself in a pickle, and you're going to say, I should take this one, I should take that one, I should take this one, and then I don't want you to get to the stage where you say, I'm going to split my 1% into 3 trades, or then I'm going to take 3% because I trust one of the mentors are going to win, or 2 of them are going to win. Just try to figure out which mentor you closely resonate with, trading-wise, and then try and zero in on them. All right. You guys have to make informed decisions whether you plan to take the trade or not based on your abilities to recognize the patterns you trade. Okay. For those that have already paid for the challenge, can you ask if we can get a partial refund for the discount you're taking? The piss, bro. I don't think they're going to do that. Have I not told you the trouble that I'm having with them already? I will ask them on your behalf right at the end of the call, because if I ask that too soon, then he might just shaft me. They ain't going to refund Jack. Let me tell you something. When I spoke to him on the phone today, listen, man, he sounded like Donald Trump. The guy is clearly raking money, okay? He did not care for no Rocks FX Academy. But when I mentioned that there are X amount of members coming forward and that this is how many members have passed your challenge already, I said there's money involved. He was like... You understand? But then he obviously thought about it and emailed me. So, no, I don't think I'll ask them, but I will ask them, in one way or another, So, yeah, don't message the mentors, please. In terms of other questions that you really can just pop off the top of your head, does anybody have any? If so, feel free to ask. And if the mentors, if I've missed anything out, please let me know that you don't think that that's not in the booklet.
Rox, can you look at my message that I sent to you?
Slack?
And then you just, no, Zoom.
Zoom, okay, hold on. Was it a private message? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so Chantel has kindly put together, let me go to it first before you lot start reading my messages. Chantel has kindly put together a spreadsheet for dummies, right? Literally. So you guys can use it as a guideline throughout the challenge, and she can explain it herself if she doesn't mind.
Yeah, it's actually what the mobster shared, but you can use this for your own progress in the challenge. So there are 20 days here because, well, actually this month or next month is going to have 22 trading days. So each line represents a day. And this one is based on an 80,000 euro account. But if you have a $100,000 account, you just change the number. And you can also change the risk to whatever percentage you would like to use. And it will calculate your risk based on your current balance. So I can change that also, or you can change it yourself if you're good in Excel. But with this thing, you can follow your progress based on what DMobster already showed us. But now you can do it on your own.
Live for each trade you take.
Day,
yeah. For every trade you take. And I really suggest you guys use this as opposed to using the master spreadsheet or the other spreadsheet. For those that are comfortable using other spreadsheets, feel free. But I think this is a very, very good spreadsheet in its most simplistic form to see your progress daily. You can then use DMobster's examples to compare where you're at and at what stage you're at and, keep yourself afloat mentally. So this will be made available to you. This will be made available to you as well, courtesy of Chantel. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I did want to share something with you. Just as an example, can I share the document of your challenge, Chantal?
Yes, bro. Sorry. I had to go back to the main screen. Yes, you can.
Okay, fine. So this is just an example of Chantal's challenge. You probably want to just talk about yourself very quickly.
Okay, so I started with a 2% risk. That's because I felt confident doing that. My first trade had my first day ended up with a small loss.
So guys, sorry Chantal. So I'm just showing you this not because you took 2%, but just to show you how you can really see how this could work out for you, and kind of what to suspect, with a few tips and that from Chantal and what it would look like here. Okay, let's just move on from the 2% and just pretend that's 1% and then keep moving on.
Okay, so the first day I had a small loss, and that was basically because I managed my stop loss. I saw that when I was in the trade that my analysis was not correct, so I managed it so it became a small stop loss instead of the full percentage that I was risking. Then the second day became a take profit day, which gave me a lot of leverage. It also put me in a very good state of mind to do the other days that were coming. The third day, I took a first trade and it was a break even trade. And I was like, okay, if it's break even, I'm allowed to take another trade. So I did that, and then it became a losing trade. So instead of ending the day up break even, I ended the day up with a loss. So then I shot myself in the foot. I was like, okay, you could have had a break even day, but you didn't. I got away from the computer, from the charts, and I just left it at that because I knew there were other days coming, and I still had some profit left from my second day, which was a take profit day. And the fourth day was the worst day of my entire challenge, where I took 3 trades. The first one was a loss. I didn't feel good about it. I wanted to correct it, so I took another trade, which was also a loss, but a smaller one. And then I was like, okay, now you really have to stop. But I was still going through my charts, and then I saw an opportunity, and I was like, okay, do I take it or not? Because you already took 2 trades for today. But then I was so confident in the trade, I took it, and it basically made it hit take profit, and then it made it cleared like the other losses that I had made for that day. So the total loss became a small loss for the fourth day. And then 3 days in a row, I only took 1 trade, and they all hit take profit. And that's when I ended up with more than 10% profit. So I had passed the challenge already, except that I only had to make it to the 10 days.
Okay, stop there, please. So thank you for that, Chantal. So guys, look, understand this. Chantal was risking 2%, right? For the duration of her challenge. Now, on her first day, she took a loss. On her third day, she took 2 losses. On her third day, on her fourth day, she took two losses, 1 big, 1 small, because she cut the trade, and 1 win. Okay, so overall, her first 4 days was real bad. She took more than 1 trade a day. She went against 1 stop loss and continued to take a trade, and even took a second stop loss. And on the third day, she took 2 stop losses. Okay, now imagine now doing this. What it's going to cause for you in terms of your emotions and psychology, especially that you've never done this before. You're not going to comprehend how you're going to get out of this hole. But look, if she just took 1 trade on the first day, 1 trade on the second, 1 trade on the third, and 1 trade on the fourth, she probably would have completed this challenge. Well, she did complete it in the 7th day, but she probably wouldn't have had to put herself in a position where she would have had to taken 3 trades in a row winning. She probably could have just finished up the challenge on the 2nd day, something like that. That's not exactly the point I was trying to make, but the point is, if she just avoided taking the other losses, on the other days, and she waited for the days where the trades were going to give her the best opportunity, or she stuck to a 1 loss a day, 1 break even a day, imagine how much she would have finished this challenge at this point here. Okay.
Those days where she took more than one trade just looks like it wasn't worth it psychologically.
Yeah, definitely.
Correct. And that's a very good point. And I mean, Chantal can continue, but what I want to say to you guys, this should illustrate to you that there really is no need to chase a loss. There really is no need to trade after a break-even trade, and there's no reason for you to be taking a trade after a loss and, you know, whatever else, or take another trade after a small loss. Because if she just stuck to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, look what happens. Eventually, once you continue with the numbers game, and you trust the process of this one trade a day, she can, after that horrendous start, she still completed the challenge on the 7th day. Okay? So really think about that, guys. Chantal, do you have anything to add to this? I don't think we need to continue with the analysis for the final day and what you've done. I just think that's a very good example.
But this is also this is the reason why I created the sheet, because of this. I started to fill in the sheet so that I could see my progress. And even though that I saw that I had, for instance, a bad start, I could fill in numbers for the coming days to come with, you know, to see the outcome, and I would still be confident that I could pass because I had my little sheet that I could work with, and my state of mind would get back to, you know, where it needed to be. So it's just very important for your psychological side of this whole thing that you're going to go through to just stick to one trade a day. If you feel the need to trade again because you see a setup and you already took your trade on the FTMO account, go do it on another account. Don't waste your FTMO account because you cannot control yourself.
Yeah. You guys, you really have to get that in your head. These ladies and gentlemen that have taken the challenges have experienced this. You guys think it's going to be like trading every day. I'm telling you, the pressure when you decide to hit that first trade is going to be immense. Immense. You're going to have to really trust this process, believe me, okay? And I think this is a fine example of how shitty your trading challenge can start, trading really badly in terms of trades per day. If Chantal's comfortable doing this, it's not bad on her part, and it's not bad, period, if you know what you're doing. But we're suggesting for you guys to take one trade a day to then still complete the challenge on the 7th day. It should give you guys enough faith, okay? Chantal continues to say, stick to one trade a day no matter what the outcome was. I was able to do that when I had TP days, but found it difficult when it was a break-even or stop-loss day. And we're talking about a very experienced trader who's comfortable with her approach to trading. Okay, consider that. Risk less is better for your state of mind. Losses are easier to accept, and she recommends that you trade at 1% a day, which is mentioned. And the most important thing here, I believe, what Chantal has mentioned, is do the maths. The maths will help you to be systematic, to see where you're at, and to also make sure that you just don't go beyond and above what you really need to be doing. Okay? Take care, Matthew, man. We'll catch you soon, bro. Thank you. We're wrapping up now anyway. And then obviously you see an example of this, all right? So, guys, man, we wish you all the best. I just want to end on one note. Before I do, does Paulina have anything to say?
I do. I just want to say that, for example, if you do start a challenge with 1 loss, 2 losses, 3, 4, look at this example. I'm so glad this was shared and the challenge has been passed. It does not matter.
Yes.
It does not matter. So do not let your psychology, your demons to come out and eat you up. Do not over leverage your account. Do not just say, fuck it, I'm just going to put 4% and see what happens. Do not do it, because literally it's the math. Then if you do 4 losses in a row, 1 TP can sort you out and you just 1R below 100K, and then you've got the rest of 15 days to trade. Just stay focused. Just remember why you're doing it, what are your goals, and do not give up. Just really stay focused. Walk away, talk to us, chat on general and say, I'm really having a tough time. Do not blow your accounts only because you took a few losses in a row.
Absolutely, man.
Well said.
Yeah, very well said.
I just have one other thing to say about the account as well, depending on what size people are doing. I think Paulina mentioned this already, though, is to set up either a demo or take the FTMO demo account to get used to the lot size. I had a chat with Stubbsy a while back about lot sizes on these size accounts, and they're quite considerably different. So it's worth having a look to get yourself comfortable with how fast the numbers will move. Because taking your first trade, you might look at it and panic, thinking I've done something wrong. It's moving too fast number wise. And just one other point as well is if you do take a trade and it's win, lose, break even on the FTMO account, and you decide that you want to do another one, but you take yourself to your private account, just make sure if you're on mobile or however you trade, that you make sure you check your lot sizes, because the difference between what you're trading on FTMO and your current account is probably quite vast. And you don't want to be putting 25 lots onto a $500 account for sure. So just make sure you keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and I would suggest, guys, depending on where you're at, if your focus is going to be the FTMO challenge for the next 2 months, really try to focus on that. And if you are in a position where you don't need to trade your live account, or do what most traders are doing, which is desperately trying to build a small account to a big account. If you don't need to make money, or you're not using your account to make money, then just try to really focus on your one trade a day, and then move on to just freeing your mind, reading a book, doing some back testing, taking trades on a demo account, so that you don't have any added burden of dealing with losses or trying to build a small account to a big account in desperation to make X amount. If you try to alleviate everything around you and just keep a real focus on the FTMO challenge, okay? Because every single day you go to sleep, you're probably going to be thinking about it. And every morning you wake up, you're probably going to be thinking about it. All right? So anything that you can alleviate around it, just try to do so. This is not just a challenge that you're going to be taking to test your abilities as a trader. It's going to be there to really identify who you really are as a person, how you're able to control your emotions, how you're able to foresee your future, how you're able to deal with adversities while you're going through the challenge. It's really going to be a test of who you really are. And I'm telling you, to be a great trader and a consistent trader requires you to be much more than just a great technical analysis or somebody who really understands their strategy and can execute blindly. It really takes just a real, collective set of skill sets and just focus, man. Better yourself through this challenge and use that as, just focus on that at the forefront. It really is important. I just want to bring Stubbsy forward. Just finally, I just want to mention Ida, our mentor in the community, who is probably one of the most phenomenal traders in this community, may or may not be taking the challenge. Regardless of that, she has mentioned that she will be there to support you guys also. Again, it applies to her. Do not message her privately. If there's anything that you guys need support with, put it in the general. And if it's directed at Ida, let me know and I'll direct it to her. But she will be there to support you also. I will say that her trading style is like next level. So for those, if she gives a suggestion of a trading opportunity in the group that she can identify, but you guys can't, then you guys will have to just fall back off of that one and move on until there is a trade you can. Now, just because we're going to give you direction for trades, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow a direction. You are free to take trades whenever you want as well. All right? We will just do our best to support you in the way we can see the trading opportunity. So just to let you know, Ida is there also. JCFX, please keep yourself muted, bro. Now, if I could just bring Stubbsy forward, because I just think that it's a very good point. Stubbsy in the beginning took the challenge. You guys go and watch the interview on YouTube. Get my numbers up for me, please. Thank you. He took the challenge in the beginning. You will hear how it went for him. I just want him to just come forward and just let us know, because in his first challenge, he traded every single day and he got to the point where he had to win his last trade to pass the challenge, which he did. So well done for that. But in your second challenge, Stubbsy, did you trade every day? When did you pass the challenge, and what did you do different to the first one that can help those that are planning to take the FTMO challenge here now, please?
Yeah, so in the second challenge, I found it much easier because I realised that on like a market down day, I didn't actually have to place a trade, so I wasn't given any percentage back. So I think I traded on the Monday the Tuesday, the Thursday, and the Friday, and I passed it in the first week.
Yeah. So in terms of your first challenge, you traded every day. On your second challenge, I mean, you passed it in the first week, which is a bit crazy. But now that you're going to be taking the challenge for the third time, I just want everyone to get comfortable with this and know this is real. Are you going to feel pressure to trade every day?
No, not at all.
Are you going to be pressured to take a trade if you lose?
Not at all.
Are you going to feel pressure to take a trade if you take a break-even trade?
No, not if there's not one there.
No. And
just got to stay cool and
really have to, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing, isn't it? Not to lose your head.
Mm-hmm. Not to lose your head. And can I just ask, whether we pass, we fail, we get another opportunity, are you feeling really confident going into this challenge in terms of your abilities, not the results that you will get, but just your abilities to take this challenge and really maximize the opportunity?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Okay. And I think a lot of the mentors here about to take this challenge have really taken a lot of time before taking this challenge. Chantal has taken it herself, as you can see, and I have also discussed it with her. If you guys stick to what we've outlined in the book, I can't promise that you will pass. We can't promise that you'll pass, but what we can promise you is that you will maximize your opportunity to pass a challenge, the highest possible opportunity to pass this challenge. The responsibility now lies on you. It's not a responsibility that should burden you. You should enjoy the challenge. It's a beautiful journey. There's many opportunities to come. And may I make you very aware that if you do not pass this challenge, okay, in March, or you get to the second stage and you fail, you're only 4 months into the year. Okay? You're only 4 months into the year. There's still another 8 months to go. Yes, you may invest the money. I get it. But again, those that are having to sell jewelry to do this or whatever else, and it's going to put us in a situation where you're going to be financially unstable, then just hold off for 1 more month if you have to. Okay? You guys get the point. What we want to say to you all is just good luck. We wish you all well. We're going to do our best to support you. Have a read through this booklet, see what it does for you. If there's any questions or queries, put them in the ftmo channel until I tell you that the channel is live, and we'll go from there. I just want to say a big thank you to all the mentors, Matthew, Ida, Stubbsy, D-Mobster, Chantel, and Paulina. You guys really have been a great support to me in helping me put this together, and I'm sure for many in the community. Okay, it's going to be a great, great challenge. It's going to be a great journey, and let's see what the results we get, man. Any questions or queries before we go? Nope. All right. Everybody take care. Recording will be available. I'll do my best to get it up tomorrow. I'll get to my, do you know what? I'll just upload this in the damn, no, I won't. I'll get this uploaded tomorrow. I'll get my web developer to sort this out for me. The booklet I'm going to post now in the FTMO challenge. So have a read through it. Give me your thoughts. Please don't come to me with spelling errors, but if there's something that's missing or you need answering, let me know and we'll get them answered. All right. Everybody take care for now, man. Good night and catch you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you later.